The UN Security Council is cracking down on North Korea. It has vowed to enforce its previously imposed sanctions as part of condemnation of Pyongyang's recent rocket test. North Korea reacting with defiance, saying it will restart its atomic weapons program and pull out of the six-nation talks. Russia, Japan, and China have all called on Pyongyang to remain in those talks. Well, for more on this, we go straight to our correspondent Henry Morton in Beijing. Henry, it's a strong call from China to Pyongyang.
Yes, very much so, although we still haven't seen an explicit criticism of North Korea yet. But as you said, calling for calm on all sides and a return to six-party talks. And it's a similar language that we've seen before the rocket launch 10 days ago. However, I think Beijing is now getting more alarmed by the rhetoric coming out of North Korea. The Chinese have repeatedly said in the past they want a nuclear-free Korea peninsula, and the last thing they need at the moment is an escalation in tensions. They're already struggling to cope with thousands of North Koreans pouring across the border into China each year, and Beijing also keen to maintain stability in the region to help the country through the financial crisis. The world also now looking increasingly to China as the North's only real significant ally and host of the six-party talks, of course, to try and rein in an ever more erratic Pyongyang and bring them back to talks and diplomacy.
As you say, Henry, many eyes turned now to China, but how much weight does China actually pull? What can it do?
It's actually quite difficult to say. I think it's more about what Beijing is willing to do rather than what it can do. Certainly the Chinese are keen to avoid any ratcheting up of tensions in the region, but I think Beijing extremely unwilling to take a direct hand in affairs. One of the cornerstones of Chinese foreign policy is not to interfere in the internal affairs of another country, and Beijing is unlikely to publicly rebuke Pyongyang, although I would imagine we'll certainly see some gentle prodding behind the scenes now, especially since the Chinese agreed to the UN statement that has sparked all these latest problems.
All right, thanks very much. Henry Morton reporting there from Beijing.